Hello, everybody. Superior Stacker here today, guys. Today we're going to be talking about silver dimes, my favorite. I just love silver dimes. So before we get to it, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it, guys. It would really help out my channel. So sit back and relax and let's get to it. Well, guys, as you know, silver dimes have been around for a good while. And in fact, the Mercury dimes were minted from 1916 all the way to 1945. Just these beauties right here, also known as winged angel Liberty heads. So there are beauties. And of course, we have the Roosevelt. The Roosevelt was minted from 1946 to 1964 in silver. And they are still being minted to this day, but in clad. And we do have silver for collectors in the American packs that you can purchase at the coin store or online. So they're still making them in silver, but for collectors. So, well, let's get to it. Many factors go into consideration. One, what are you stacking for? Is it for weight? Is it for barter situations? Is it easier coin recognition or best resale, and so on? There's many factors involved, guys. So it just will come down to what is your personal preference. And the Roosevelts will have more silver content in them because they have less wear. Normally, the Mercury dimes have been around for a lot longer, and it's just normal wear on the silver, on the transactions. But you do have the option of finding amazing Mercuries out there. Most out there that you will get is in kind of in this shape right here. I'm trying to show the year. Focus. Maybe if I do this, that will help. This is from 1924, and as you guys could tell, it has some wear, but they're still beautiful coins. So this has been out for a good while, 100 years, in fact. So, which ones would you actually prefer? So, like I was saying, the Roosevelts have been minted in more recent times compared to the Mercury dimes. So they will have more silver content. So if you're worried about the silver content, some people will tend to go for the Mercuries for that fact, since they will have more silver in them. But like I was saying, depending on the coin store, I've been to a few. There's a few here that I go to in town, but there's one that I did not like the option of. I asked, hey, can I have some Mercury dimes? Can I see them? Like, well, we sell them by, they all sell them by the face value. Like, how many do you want? Do you 5, 10? But the sad thing is I was not able to choose my Mercs, and that was very upsetting. The other coin store that I go to, they will bring out a bucket, and I could be there for hours if I wanted to, just checking out each one, and that's where I pick out my most nicest ones. And I always try to find the nicest Mercury dimes. And same thing with the Roosevelts. They will actually let you choose. And if you have time, I really recommend it that you enjoy that process. So it's not like they will hand you, here's 5, and it's in whatever condition, it's whatever 5 you get in, you actually get to choose. So I always try to get the nicest looking Mercs. And same thing with the Roosevelts. And come on. As you can tell, most of them are in decent condition. I always look at the column and the condition that these are in. So that makes a big factor right there, guys. And other things is some people are concerned about the barter situation. So for bartering, the ones that are most recognized will be the Mercs, honestly, because, and don't get me wrong, people know what a Roosevelt dime is, but to know if it's silver, they're going to have to look at the dates, and they're more like, oh, well, that's a regular dime, until, they look at the date, and if they were to go further in the weight. But when you have a Mercury dime, people will automatically recognize it, like, oh, that's an old silver American dime. So for barter, most people would prefer to have the Mercuries. And also there's the other concern as well. There's less silver in them because either the wear and them being older. And that's why some other people would actually tend for the Roosevelts for more silver content in them. And if you were to get a stack of, well, I don't know if that would work for me, but because most of my coins are in the best shape that they can be. But if you were to get a stack of Mercury's and Roosevelt's, and if there were to be a stack of mostly coins that look like this one from 1924 that's kind of wore out, then you would see the difference that the Roosevelt stack would be slightly or even more significant higher because it has more of its silver content. But when you are able to go to a coin store that will actually let you choose your dimes, and then you have the option of choosing, like, hey, I want one that's in great condition, such as this one, then you have a fair chance of having a nice stack with coins that will have a lot of its silver content still without it being rubbed off and stuff from being used in regular transactions as currency. So that is one thing to think about, guys, and have that in mind. So, and like I was saying, no clad coins were made in Mercs. They were all silver. They were during a time when our money was real money and we had silver dimes, silver quarters, silver 50-cent pieces, and silver dollars. And of course, we had the paper money, but it was a different time for sure. They're both beautiful coins, and they're amazing to stack both. I personally like to stack both, but Mercury's being my favorite, I tend to stack a lot more of the Mercs, as you can see probably here. Right now, they are being sold for the face value. They're not being sold for the weight. I have not been to a coin store there where you're like, oh, well, let me weigh the silver content on these, like how you would world coins from other parts of the world. These are still being sold as, how many dimes do you want? Do you want 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on, or even a few? They're being sold by the face value. And I don't know if that's the right word, but I guess individually. It's not like, you know, the face value of each one is 10 cents, but they're being sold individually, not by weight. In case if somebody was, saying that I wasn't expressing that in the right way, that's how they're being sold right now. Will that change in the future? We do not know. That is a very good question. But one thing I believe is they probably are getting more rare, because like I said in another previous video, I've explained before that in the 80s when that those brothers squeezed the silver market, a lot of people went and sold their silver coins, including dimes, and a lot of them got sent to the smelter and they got melted down. And the number of that is still unknown. So if we were to know, I guess these would be a lot more expensive. Like right now, I could probably get a Mercury or Roosevelt for $2.05, hit or miss as of right now with the prices. And like I was saying, the Mercury is probably the most recognized dime out there, guys. Everybody knows it, that it's silver, and it's something beautiful about holding. I'm not going to lie. If you were to get one of these and change a Merc, there's something special about that. Really, there is. And I don't know what it is, but it's just holding something that's so old, thinking that maybe even one of your grandparents or great-grandparents held it. It's just very special for me. And I'm sure for you as well. So, let's be honest. Also, the Roosevelts are in more better condition. They're very nice coins. And sometimes you could even get some amazing ones like that are proofs. Like that one's from the 60s. It's a proof. I have this one this is more of a collector's item like how I was talking about. Look at how thick it looks. That's one thing I like. They look very nice. This is a 2007. And they're just very beautiful proofs. And in the end, guys, it doesn't matter which one you're stacking or for what reason you're stacking. In the end, if you're stacking one or another, you're going to be ahead of the game than most Americans. In case if it's generational wealth, it will hold its value or increase in value depending on the markets and or in the future. And honestly, you are ahead of the game, guys. So if you're stacking Mercs or Roosevelts, you're doing very, very, very good for yourself and for generations to come, in case if you hold them and you pass them on. So that is it, guys. There's just a lot of factors. I love them both. They're both amazing coins. Pros and cons to each. But in the end, you're doing a very good thing by stacking them. So please leave in the comments, guys, what are your opinions? What's your thoughts on all this? Which one would you prefer? And the reasons why. I would love to hear that. And again, you guys take care, and I will see you on the next one. Happy stacking.